Hi everyone, it's me Louis and welcome to a new video. This video is part 1 of my tutorial series where I teach beginners how they can start selling on Shopee, Malaysia's biggest online marketplace. In this video, we're going to take a look at a few things. The first thing is, what exactly is Shopee and how is it different from other websites that you see in Malaysia? Number 2, we're going to take a look at Shopee's launch and growth in Malaysia. Number 3, how exactly does Shopee make money and why is it important for you as a seller to understand that? And lastly, we're going to take a look at the pros and cons of selling on Shopee. I think you should consider all of these before you jump on board. So if you've been thinking about starting to sell on Shopee, or you're just curious about Shopee, how it works, how it makes money, then I think you should stay tuned for this video. Louis, what is Shopee and how do you actually make money on it? This is a question that I get asked fairly often by my friends, audience members, as well as some of my clients. And the reason why they're asking me this question is because they've heard about or have seen people who have sold products on Shopee or have made money on Shopee. But then when they come to the Shopee website, here, they see a pretty standard e-commerce website, quite ordinary. And if we were to compare it to another e-commerce website, for example here, the Signature Market, we find that they don't really look that different on the outset. Here you can see that there are places for existing customers to log in and then new customers to sign up to start buying on Shopee. Same thing on the Signature Market website. And then the promotional banner here and a promotional banner here. Categories here, categories here. Then products. Okay, so in this case, discounted products. Okay, so from the outset, they look quite similar. And if you have never sold on a marketplace like Shopee before, it can be quite confusing to understand the mechanics of how this would work. So, how exactly does Shopee work and how is it different from websites like Signature Market? The answer to that question is that Shopee is what we call an online marketplace, whereas Signature Market is what we consider a branded storefront. So what's the difference between these two? The main difference between an online marketplace like Shopee and a branded storefront like Signature Market is that online marketplaces offer a platform for buyers and sellers to meet, and the selling transaction happens on the platform. On the other hand, a branded storefront would sell directly to their customers without the involvement of any kind of platform or middle person. You can think of online marketplaces like a big mall with little shops inside. Although you're going to the mall to buy things, it's very likely that when you arrive at the mall, you're gonna go to specific shops to buy the products. As we can see here on Shopee, although there are many products being displayed, if you look inside, if I were to click here, we'll find that this isn't sold by Shopee, it's sold by a shop called Oppo on Shopee. On the other hand, if we look at Signature Market, we can't find a similar setup here. If we were to click inside, we'll find that this product isn't sold by any other shop than Signature Market. We can't find that, oh, this is linked to a store inside Signature Market. That's not the case. You can safely say that all of these products are sold on Signature Market by Signature Market. On the other hand, this mobile phone is sold on Shopee by Oppo. And this is the reason why we hear people talk about selling on Shopee, making money on Shopee, but not the same thing for websites such as Signature Market. It's because you can open a shop inside Shopee, or in other words, become a seller on Shopee, but not on a branded storefront like Signature Market. Now let's take a look at Shopee's launch in 2015, the landscape of e-commerce at the time, as well as the growth that Shopee has experienced since. In late 2015, Shopee launched in Malaysia. At the time, there was already a really big marketplace player that was launched by the Rocket Internet Group a few years earlier in 2012, and that was Lazada. Everyone was buying from Lazada, and there were also many Malaysians who experienced their first online buying experience on Lazada itself. With such a giant competition, Shopee seemed so small, and it seemed nearly impossible for such a tiny new player like Shopee to compete. But you don't go into competition with a giant without having a strategy planned first. And for Shopee, its early strategy could be summarized into 3 things. Number 1, mobile first. Number 2, zero commissions. And number 3, free shipping. Unlike Lazada, which was and still is a primarily desktop or laptop platform, Shopee decided from the beginning to be mobile first. And this would later prove to be very advantageous for Shopee because, as we'll see, more and more Malaysians, as well as users all around the world, were going mobile first with their online shopping. Primarily because mobile phones were getting cheaper, data was getting cheaper, and the iOS or OS inside these devices were getting more advanced, so online shopping became this seamless experience. With the no commissions for sellers strategy, Shopee would be able to pull in thousands and thousands of new sellers into the platform. Because compared to Lazada, which was charging up to 12% commissions on every single sale made on the platform, Shopee suddenly seemed like a reasonable alternative. And finally, free shipping. Free shipping would be the last piece of this puzzle. It would draw in all the buyers from Lazada to Shopee. Lazada at the time did offer free shipping in its early days in 2012 to 2013, but now in 2015 it was a rather mature platform which didn't really rely on free shipping as a growth strategy anymore. This would prove as well to be one of Shopee's most successful growth hacking strategies, as a lot of buyers would come to Shopee from Lazada to take advantage of this subsidized free shipping. These smart moves in its early strategy allowed Shopee to have a strong foundation for growth in the next 6 years. Fast forward to 2021 today, Shopee has become the largest online marketplace in Malaysia. In fact, if you compare the traffic between Shopee and Lazada, you'll find that Shopee has almost 4 times as much traffic as Lazada. If you look at the latest figure here from SimilarWeb, it's 58.3 million visits in that month. It means that if you consider the size of the Malaysian population, it's almost like every single Malaysian has visited Shopee at least once in August. Now that you have an idea of the type of landscape that Shopee launched into, now let's shift our focus and take a look at how Shopee actually makes money. So there are a few ways that Shopee makes money, and the number one way is by charging sellers commissions on successful transactions on the site. So every time you sell something, somebody has bought something and the money has transferred to you, they'll take a cut from there, and that will be their revenue. The second way that Shopee makes money is by selling ads to sellers who want to improve the visibility of their product listings, meaning to say that they want that their product listings to be seen by more people. There are a few different kinds of ads, namely banner ads, okay, like the one that you see here. Okay, so you can have a graphic placed on pages like home pages, category pages, as well as campaign pages. But do note that it sometimes these ads are not available to all seller accounts. They may be restricted to, for example, preferred sellers or Shopee Mall sellers. Okay, do note that. The second ad that Shopee sells is what's known as a search keyword ad. What this means is that these ads would appear at the very top when a buyer is searching for specific keywords. For instance, if I'm a seller and I'm looking for a mask, okay, mask. What you'll see here, if you scroll down, you'll see that this top row, is populated by ads, and the rows after that are not. You differentiate them by looking at this. Okay, if it says ad, it's an ad. Okay, the ones that are not ads don't have that tag. Okay, so this is a search ad. So these search ads, they are not priced the same. They follow a bidding system where if the keyword is really popular among a lot of sellers, then the price will go up. Okay, and finally, the last kind of ad that Shopee sells is what's known as a discovery ad. Okay, so if you click into this listing, for example, then for example, I'm a buyer, and I'm just checking this out, reading the information about the product and then the reviews, and then I come to the very end of the listing. Here there are a few sections. Okay, so from the same shop, displaying all the products from the same shop, not all products, but similar products from the same shop. And then the next section is similar products that may be used in a similar way or just look similar, appear here, but are from different shops. Okay, here are where discovery ads are placed. As you can see here, the second listing here is an ad. Okay, so finally here is also you may like, less similar but also close enough. Okay, here are also where the discovery ads can be placed. Okay, so you look at this last listing, actually is an ad. Okay, so those are the few ways that Shopee makes money, although it is not limited to just that. Okay, I'm just highlighting the main ways and the most obvious ways that they are making money from the platform. Finally, let's take a look at the pros and cons of selling on Shopee. The main pro of selling on Shopee is that it is the largest marketplace in Malaysia. With so much traffic, it's really likely that if you were to list the product, you have the best chance of showing it to your ideal customer who might buy from you. The second pro of selling on Shopee is that you don't have to set up your own shop, set up your own payment gateway, etc. All you have to do is list your products and wait for buyers to come. This can help you to save a ton of money and a ton of time, and you will be able to kickstart your e-commerce business quite quickly. Now, let's take a look at the biggest cons of selling on Shopee. The main con of selling on Shopee is competition. As you can see, it's really easy to get started selling on Shopee. And what happens is that there are many sellers who are competing with you for the same set of customers. For example, the earlier example of mask. Let's take a look at how many people are selling mask. Okay, so you can see here, just the term mask brings up more than 100 pages, about 100 pages. And if I scroll down, there are a lot of sellers for this product. And what it means when there's a lot of competition is that your product has to be quite competitively priced next to your competition, because your customers will be able to do a very quick comparison. Let's say, if I were to take a look at this, if I were to take a look at this and this, okay, you can see here they are both selling KF94 masks. One is more expensive than the other. Okay, so the customer who wants to buy the cheaper product will absolutely click on the cheaper listing. Sometimes it means that you have to price below your ideal price. The second biggest con of selling on Shopee is that you can't really design your store to accentuate your brand. Let's take a look at maybe a few different stores. Okay, if I were to come here, view this shop, and then let's find another shop. Okay, so if we were to compare these two shops, you can't really see a huge difference between them in terms of the design. Everybody has to comply with the standard framework that Shopee has already provided here. Okay, with the exception, of course, you can change your copy a little bit, place some banners here and there, but that's it. If you compare it to Signature Market, for example, what we saw earlier, you can customize the shop any way you want. You can change your listings any way you want, and your brand can be as big as you want it to be. But as we've seen here, your brand is really small. Okay, if you take a look at the product listing, your brand doesn't really appear anywhere else except here. Okay, this is the only section that showcases your brand. So if you're trying to grow a brand on Shopee, it can be a little bit tough. Okay, trying to have a really big branding on this page. So that's my quick introduction to Shopee, what it is, how it works, a brief history, how it makes money, and the pros and cons for anyone considering to sell on this marketplace platform. If you've enjoyed the video or learned something new today, then make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Otherwise, if you're looking forward to the next part of the tutorial, where I'll guide you through how to set up your seller account as well as list your first product, then make sure to subscribe so you will get updated. Thank you so much for your time watching this video, and I'll see you again in my next video. Bye bye.